Severe thunderstorms are expected over the next couple of days from the Central Plains to the upper Midwest and Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, and across parts of the Mid-Atlantic and Southeast. That could bring damaging winds, large to very large hail and tornadoes, and significant flash flooding rains. A major heat wave will continue across the desert Southwest. How hot temperatures will get, we'll answer that question and introduce you to our tropical weather update at the end of this video. If you are here, everyone, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for joining. We do daily weather forecast breakdowns that are accurate and reliable here on this channel each and every day. Like the video, give it a thumbs up, and share it with a friend, family member on social media. I definitely appreciate it. We have an enhanced risk upgrade. This is a 3 out of 5 on the risk scale, which means numerous severe thunderstorms are likely this evening, heading into the overnight hours across eastern Nebraska and west central Iowa. This is near the Omaha area and just west of Des Moines. In the yellow, that's a slight risk from the Midwest all the way back down here into the Central Plains and Eastern Rockies of Colorado, where we have scattered severe thunderstorms possible this evening and overnight. And of course, in the dark green, we have an isolated threat for severe thunderstorms. That is the marginal risk. And we are going to be watching for the threat of significant damaging winds that could cause some damage to power lines, trees, and stuff like that. A wind gust could exceed 75 miles per hour from Des Moines through the Omaha area, Lincoln, all the way back toward Dodge City, Kansas, and into eastern portions of Colorado near Lamar, Colorado. And then we have the threat for some significant and destructive hail into northeastern Nebraska, northwestern Iowa. As those storms initially evolve, we could be seeing hailstones up to tennis ball size, and there is a tornado threat as well. In the brown is a 5% chance of tornadoes. In the green is a 2% chance of tornadoes that extends eastward into Cedar Rapids, Waterloo, Iowa City, and Dubuque, into the La Crosse region, into Janesville and Monroe, and into the Madison area, Rockford, and also Princeton, Illinois. So be watching out for that. And the 5%, Omaha, the western side of Des Moines, we have to keep an eye on the threat for tornadoes there as well. Looking here at this storm energy, this is a lot of storm energy out there. Into the yellows, oranges, and reds, even the purples, that's 3,000 to 4,000 joules per kilogram of storm energy. The higher the number, the higher the chance we could see those storms becoming severe. Already here at 6 o'clock, seeing a couple of clusters of showers and storms already becoming severe. The first one we're keeping an eye on here into northern Illinois. This one could actually produce some severe weather with damaging winds to 60 miles per hour, quarter-size hail, a low tornado risk, but significant flash flooding as numerous storms train from west to east over the same areas here this evening. A secondary cluster back here in Nebraska, northwestern Kansas that will continue to evolve over the next few hours. And again, here are those two clusters. The one in northern Illinois could produce some significant heavy rainfall, and to the Rockford area, into Chicago metropolitan area there, into northeastern Illinois like Waukegan and Elgin, up there toward Kenosha, Racine, and Milwaukee. We need to keep an eye on that for a significant flash flooding risk in addition to the severe weather threat there. And then the severe weather threat back here in Nebraska, western Iowa, and to central Kansas will need to be watched this evening into the overnight hours, eventually pushing east again in through the Des Moines metro area. And this could produce more significant flash flooding into parts of the Midwest early through Friday morning. Here's the rainfall totals. That's why we're very concerned about north central Illinois and southern Wisconsin near the Illinois-Wisconsin state line. Monroe, Janesville, Walworth, over there toward portions of Racine, into the Kenosha area and Milwaukee, and then southbound we're talking areas near Princeton, Rochelle, getting over there in towards Chicago and Aurora, Naperville, Joliet, those areas. We could be seeing potentially up to 7 inches of rain in this area, which could cause significant rises on area rivers, creeks, and streams, and some street water that is definitely can't be drained fast enough. And then further west, there still will be heavy rainfall, not as concentrated, but there still could be downpours into Iowa, into eastern Nebraska and Kansas that could potentially be up over 2 inches with that storm cluster out there. Into the eastern U.S., we don't have a lot of instability over here, so any thunderstorms we see over the next few hours through mid-evening, by the way, that is a big rumble of thunder outside my window, so if you hear big rumbles of thunder, I do live in northern Illinois, and there is going to be thunder here in the background of this video. I apologize ahead of time, but again, into the eastern U.S., we're losing instability, so over the next few hours, we're going to see the storm coverage over here wane in intensity as the sun does set, and any one of those storms could still produce some localized heavy downpours. Going into tomorrow on Friday, July 11th, this could be another significant day of severe weather. There is a yellow area, which is a slight risk from Detroit into areas of Grand Rapids, Fort Wayne and Gary, Indiana, Chicago metropolitan area, Peoria to Davenport and Rockford, all the way back here into, say, Ottumwa, Iowa, Kirksville, and even Kansas City. That's where scattered severe thunderstorms will be possible. Into the dark green, that's where isolated severe thunderstorms are possible. Anywhere in the plains to the upper Midwest, like Minnesota, or over here into parts of the Appalachians down into the Carolinas. Cannot rule out a severe threat there. Main risk is going to be for damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. We are keeping an eye on areas here in the tri-state area of eastern Iowa, northwest Illinois, and northeast Missouri for a localized enhanced severe wind threat tomorrow. If that does come to pass, we could actually have an upgrade to an enhanced risk, much like we see today for wind, and then the hail threat is a little bit lower because it's going to be so warm. The hail growth zone is really not great, and there could be some rotation. There could be some tornadoes here, including areas like Milwaukee, Chicago, Rockford, back to Davenport, Quad Cities, Kirksville, and Kansas City, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, all the way over here into Kalamazoo, Lansing, Grand Rapids, and Detroit, including the Fort Wayne, Toledo, and Gary, Indiana areas, could have a tornado as we go through tomorrow. What's driving this is a lot of daytime heating. We're going to be seeing dew points rising well into the 70s. This is our storm energy, and that's over 4, even 5,000 joules per kilogram into parts of that tri-state area, Missouri, eastern Iowa, northwestern Illinois, by peak daytime heating mid to late afternoon on Friday. And this is what we're going to see. Friday morning, storms from tonight exiting and weakening as they push eastward into the southern Great Lakes region. They still could be producing heavy rainfall early Friday morning, and as we go into the afternoon, renewed activity along the cold frontal boundary, but also any outflow boundaries that occur from tonight's storms. That could ignite some big line of storms across the Mississippi River. Peak daytime heating tomorrow. And notice this line, very nasty wind threat that could evolve with 60 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts with all the storm energy we're seeing out there, and also the torrential downpours leading to more significant flash flooding. Because remember, northern Illinois could be seeing upwards to 6 or 7 inches of rain just through tonight alone. So if you throw another inch or two on top of that, significant flash flooding and runoff from the water will be possible. And then that will carry over into Saturday morning. The storm's weakening as they push into Indiana and Michigan. Again, this is another 1 to 2 inches of rain in northern Illinois, southeastern and southern Wisconsin tomorrow from Friday into Saturday, and that's on top of what we have tonight. So there could be areas approaching 10 inches of rain alone up here into northern Illinois, eastern Iowa, and southern Wisconsin, which could cause a significant rise in area of rivers, creeks, and streams, but also being susceptible in like farm fields, ditches, and low-lying areas to flooding as well as we go into the start of the weekend. Then there we go into Saturday, July 12th, slight risk of severe weather where scattered severe thunderstorms are possible in eastern Michigan, northern Indiana, northwestern Ohio, marginal risk extending down the lower Ohio River Valley into the southern plains, and even down into New Mexico and Colorado, where isolated severe thunderstorms will be possible on Saturday. Damaging winds and hail will be the main threat, but a couple of tornadoes may be possible up near the low pressure system there in Michigan. So as we go into Saturday morning, again, remnant activity from Friday night storms into Saturday will continue. Those will weaken out. We'll have a lull in the middle of the day, and then we'll have more storms developing Saturday afternoon. And these storms will be capable of producing all hazards, damaging winds, hail, and an isolated tornado in addition to torrential downpours. We look at the upper air flow here in the jet stream as we go through the weekend, but especially early next week. We're going to see another strong disturbance here moving across the upper Midwest into the Great Lakes region by the middle of next week, around this time next week. And this could bring another round of significant severe weather to similar areas of the Midwest, Great Lakes and Ohio Valley. You can see all the storm energy building there in the middle of the country. And this, again, could produce some significant severe weather. As we go into Sunday, July 13th, isolated severe storms from the Ohio Valley into the Northeast is possible, also into the Mid-Atlantic. Monday looks to be a quieter day, and then as we go into Tuesday, July 15th, could be a cold front moving through parts of the Dakotas, Minnesota, that could bring isolated to scattered severe weather, and then a more significant brand of severe weather from the Great Lakes like Michigan through Illinois into Missouri and Kansas as we go into next Wednesday and Thursday, and then that will push off further to the east. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on that. Here's the fire weather risk for the rest of the day. We have elevated fire weather concerns in orange across the Four Corners region of southeastern Utah, southwestern, western Colorado, north central Arizona, and northwest New Mexico. And then as we go into tomorrow on Thursday, a dry thunderstorm risk in brown across west central Colorado, west of Denver, keeping an eye on that. Lightning could spark new fires out there tomorrow on July 11th, so we'll be keeping a very close eye on that. The National Hurricane Center here in Miami, Florida, is actually not expecting any tropical cyclone activity over the next week, which is the next 7 days, anywhere in the Atlantic Basin, including the Caribbean and the Gulf. And the same thing holds true in the East Pacific. No tropical cyclone activity expected over the next 7 days here, and it has been a very active start in the East Pacific for the hurricane season. It does look to take a respite as we go through the next week, which is some great news. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching this evening update. We'll have another video forecast out for you tomorrow, again, highlighting the threat for severe weather, heat, and their tropics. Make sure to like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Best thing to do is turn on post notifications so you're notified for future videos and live streams we do on the channel. Share it with a friend, family member on social media. I definitely appreciate your support in doing so. If you have any comments, questions, and concerns, jot that down in the comment section down below this video. We are here 24/7, all day, all night, to answer any and all questions that you may have. Thank you everybody for watching, and have a wonderful and safe rest of your Thursday out there.